Hey everybody, this is Mike with the One Stop Co-op Shop, and today I'm checking out the Unlock Kids series. If you don't know Unlock, I love those games, probably my favorite escape room kind of riddle series out there, but they have a kids version, so I wanted to check it out. And if you like the content on the One Stop Co-op Shop, consider supporting us through Patreon. You get early access to our videos and exclusive videos every month you can't see anywhere else. You can also listen to our podcast for reviews and design discussions, or join the conversation and say hi on our Discord. And disclaimer that Asmodee sent me a review copy of 4 of the sets. I'll talk about all 4 of them a bit and kind of what I liked and didn't like from the ones that I played. But mainly today I'm going to look at detective stories. Each of these has 3 sets that you can do riddles and like stories in, and 2 stories for each of the sets. So it's basically 6 kind of adventures overall. And first I'm going to play through the tutorial so you can get the basics of how the game works, not really any spoilers in there. Then I'm going to play through one of the full chicken adventures, and then I'll do kind of a review of the system. So if you don't want to see spoilers, you can just watch the tutorial and then use the timestamps to skip ahead. All right, so this is kind of teaches you the game. It says, with this tutorial, we'll learn how to play Unlock Kids without having to read the rules. Your mission, find the components you will need to play the adventures that lay ahead. So start by spreading out all the tutorial components face out on the table. So we've got cards. We've punched out a few things with numbers on the back. It says, flip this card over. After a nice long stroll through Cocow's Island, you reach a cabin that looks abandoned. Each time you see a number, you can flip the matching component over. So we can flip over cardboard item number 8, as well as cards 11, 2, and 3, and that indicates that these are a tableau. Okay, so we got 2 and 3 here. We got card 11, and then object 8. Okay, so 11 says this is the symbols table, and all of the sets have this thing. Do not flip over the components matching these numbers right away. 2 half symbols can form a complete symbol, whether on cards, items, or both. Once you have assembled one of these symbols, reveal the corresponding or the component corresponding to the indicated number. So as an example, we'll get to stuff in a second, but see if I put my little pointer finger here underneath that, then that makes nothing. Okay, so that's not it. Oh, but here, nope, that wouldn't make anything either. Okay, so let's hold off on that for a second. Let's see what this says. On the cabin's table, you find a key. Flip over the matching cardboard item number 6. Ah, there we go. Okay. Take a closer look at the backpack. If you find its hidden number, flip the matching component over. So there are hidden numbers like the regular unlock. I see a 7. You've found 2 half symbols. You can perform an action at these very spots by assembling either of them with another half symbol. Choose where you want to use the key and read the symbol table carefully. But here we go, the backpack. Hooray! This star means you just gained your first star. In the course of your adventure, you will gain star cards when finding hidden numbers. They won't be of use for the adventure itself, but will determine your score at the end of the game. You can find hidden numbers anywhere, so stay alert. So yeah, this is something that is different in Unlock Kids. Generally speaking, I think there's been a few exceptions, but generally speaking, the hidden numbers just give you star points as kind of like bragging rights, but aren't needed to actually solve the puzzles if you aren't good at finding the hidden numbers. But anyway, so I can put that to the side. All right, so yes, let's do the key here, right? Because that's a lock. It seems to make more sense than using it on the window. So we'll do number 9 since we've created that symbol. All right, and this, just like in regular Unlock, tells me to get rid of all of this stuff. Do you want to see what would have happened, by the way, if I had done this? That's a 5. Oh no, this is an error card. Revealing this card means you didn't make the right choice. You can't use the key to open the window. Okay, but yes, we did it correctly, so all this stuff gets trashed. Bravo, you unlocked the padlock. X means you must discard the components you no longer use. Now take card 4. Okay, and this indicates you must make a choice. Okay, so we can get the unlock box that we bought or an old dirty sock. I'm going to pick the game because he said that our goal is to play the game. So it's card 12. This is the final card. The star symbol indicates that you completed the mission. Now tell the number of stars you found and determine where your score is. In this tutorial, there's only 1 hidden number and 2 stars to be gained, including one on this card. So yay, we got 2 stars out of 2. Now let's meet at card 13 to find out which adventure lay ahead. Congratulations, you now know how to play Unlock Kids. Open the box and lift the cardboard tray. Surprise! Choose a starting component from the 6 that appear here above to play the corresponding adventure. All right, so that's a tutorial. If you don't want to see anything that's actually spoilery, just skip to the review. But out of the adventures in this set, I'm going to do the Disappearance of Mrs. Hen. It tells me which set of cards to use, which set of tokens to use, and my starting component that'll kind of lead me through things. All right, but here we go. Jumping in. The inn farmer, Mrs. Hen, went missing. Detectives are on the case. And then a whole bunch of stuff that I'm not supposed to be able to read, although that fox looks like he might want to take a hen. And there's some little kids and a happy cow. Jack the farmer wonders about Mrs. Hen's disappearance. Okay, so we've got this says to be retained, so we'll check those like in the other one. But also it looks like we get a bonus if we can make a pie. So 2 eggs, some milk. Are those strawberries? Those are raspberries. I think it's supposed to be strawberries. Or I don't know, boysenberries. Great. All right, so we start with card 16 and object 26. And object 26 is just the basic pointer. We almost always have that. We're using this specific deck that will only be used in both the Disappearance of Mrs. Hen and Bernard the Duck's birthday. So again, there are 2 adventures per deck, per set of tokens. All right, so what have we got? Hey, what's up? Could you find my hen for me? Why, yes. Ooh, there's a 4 item. Oh, I got the milk. And okay, I got the eggs already as well. We got an egg. That's a star. So there's the hidden H that I saw, by the way. But I'm supposed to get card 21. So I guess I'm trying to find Mrs. Hen. I know, isn't she cute? And I got a 33. So I guess I'm trying to figure out which hen house she came from. There's one of those choice cards. So it's got to be about the feathers, right? Yeah, this is hers, right? 1 brown, 1 white, 1 red. The other ones have different combinations. So, cha-chunk. And that is 4 dots with an arrow. So 49. All right, I guess I was right. I get to discard 21. The picture of it told me to find her. Okay, and I get a little here. I can move some of this stuff out of the way, I think. Get a tab below and 44. Okay, so I'm going to look for evidence where she was taken from. 44 is an item. Oh. So it looks like I can pick which guy I want to listen to. Well, let's get some other cards first, though. So 40 is a bucket. And then I got 10 and 53. Oh, get rid of 49, it said. So this is gone. Okay, I got a bunch of cows to talk to. And then this cat has a giraffe. Cats like milk, but also need the milk. But I can probably get the cow to refill my milk, right? Do I do that first? The cow's not going to be happy with that little bit of milk, so sure, let's try refilling my milk jug. Oh, wait, that does not appear. So maybe they want me to use the bucket. So that, yes, okay, 36. Ah, we got a bucket full of milk. Now can I turn it over? Yep, 46. There we go. Yay, I got a full thing of milk. Now, it looks like I don't have to discard anything, so I can keep my ingredient, but can I also give the cat some milk? Yes, 38. Oh, and now I got the giraffe toy. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on. Did I miss any hidden numbers, by the way? Okay, so I milked the cow. I'm not sure what to do with the pig or the horse. I want to milk them. Does that look like a 2 to y'all? Looks like a 2 to me. Yes, okay, we got so we've got almost all the ingredients, right? We got 1 egg, we got the milk, we got the raspberries. All we need is another egg and the strawberry. Okay. And that seems to be, like I said, just purely for the bonus stars. Okay, so if I didn't miss anything else, I think I'm supposed to be matching the egg shape, which means that one is a match. Now, I don't know why that means that he's pointing the correct way to find the person, but we'll try it out. Okay, so that looks kind of like a Pac-Man ghost, 2324. All right. Oh, now we got to figure out which way to go. We got feathers. Neither of those is like the exact type of I guess that's the feathers that she had, right? Red, brown, and white. But then there's also like feathers that she doesn't have here. So should I go into the forest? I mean, this looks like, oh, that's chicken footprints, though. So maybe I should go that way. I don't know what that is. I mean, I don't know. I want to check this forest thing first. So that 15. Okay, they didn't say I was wrong right away. 20. What number is that supposed to be? 7, maybe? Oh, wait, maybe it's a 1? No. Oh, I'm stupid. There's 2 numbers. 13 or 73. Okay, cool. We got the strawberries. All we need is 1 more egg in terms of the bonuses. But let's actually see what's going on with 29. Oh, look at Foxy over here. Just hugging. That's not what you're supposed to do with the chicken, Fox. Oh, he's missing his favorite. What am I call it? This, yes. Where'd that come from? Oh, I took it from the cat. So the cat stole it from the fox, and we're returning it. That's it, right? No, it's not. Is that it? It's kind of it. I think that's probably supposed to be it, 47. Well done! You returned Harry the Fox's soft toy and found Mrs. Hen. There were 7 stars to be gained. What's my score? I think I missed an egg, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, dang it. Where do I get the last egg from? None of them make eggs. Oh, wait. No. I already got that one. Maybe from the hen coop? Could I just take an egg? Because there's an egg right there. Yeah, let's see what happens if I pick this hen coop, not to find the person, but just to get the egg. No? Huh. All right, I don't know where the last egg is, so we'll just go with a slightly less than perfect score. But yes, that was an example of a narrative adventure. And this is pretty representative of the series in that, you're making logical deductions and you're looking for hidden stuff just to get bonus points. And the narrative, kind of exists, but you have to sort of intuit a lot. All right, so with our little adventure out of the way, let's talk about this series. So the first thing is probably the most important. Do my kids like it? They have been 9 and 12 years old playing through this, and yes, they've had a great time. The 12-year-old, he can just play it on his own and just kind of find things by himself, although we can work together. And the 9-year-old needs a little bit of help sometimes with some of the puzzles, but the game is straightforward enough that it's fun. They like searching for all of the achievements, all of the stars. That's a good time. As for me and my wife, we actually enjoy it too. I mean, they're certainly simpler and faster than unlocks. If you skipped the riddle solving, you saw that the entire adventure took me probably with editing, I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes. That's a little bit faster. When I'm playing with my kids, each adventure I would say takes 20 minutes on average. And again, you're getting 6 per box, 2 for each setting. So that's about 2 hours total. If you compare that to a regular unlock, one of the same kind of sets that has 3 adventures in it, those usually run for us 40 minutes to an hour. So that's 2 to 3 hours, whereas this is about 2 hours. So it's a little bit shorter, but it's comparable to the full unlock sets for how much time you're going to spend with it. Now, big differences compared to Big Daddy Unlock is that there is no app. So if you haven't seen the original unlocks or any of the coverage we've done of that, you have an app you're interacting with that does provide a very strong toy factor. Where's the toy factor coming from instead? From these manipulatives and the objects. And there are actually in some of the sets riddles that even use these, and you're not just putting them together with cards like you saw me doing in the tutorial, but you're literally manipulating things and creating little puzzle pieces out of them. Just like everything else in Unlock, nothing is destroyed. You can easily pass this along to somebody else or trade it or sell it when you're done. But yeah, the toy factor of these little token kind of items is pretty high. My kids have enjoyed it quite a bit. It's definitely not as exciting as the coolest app-enabled stuff in the full Unlock series, but still very cool. Now, potential negative for the game, and if you watched the little chicken adventure, you might have noticed this, is that you don't get a lot of narrative. You get a general setup, here it was, hey, this guy's chicken has been kidnapped, but there isn't really narrative reading along the way. So actually the tutorial having all these words is very unusual. That is not the case for most of the cards. So sometimes my family, my kids, and the adults have found that we didn't really know what was going on. We didn't get the sort of narrative through line that the quest was supposed to be giving us. Now, I will note in a complimentary way that you have these tutorial hint books for each of the adventures in the sets. And it will, here, I'll just kind of flash it without showing anything too specific, but it'll give you hints like the app would do in full unlock for each of the cards. And it even doesn't show you the beginning of the hen one. It even kind of gives you the narrative explanation and logical through line that you might be missing if you don't get what the pictures are trying to say. So we have actually sometimes in the middle of a mission where we're I don't know what the heck is going on, just read the stuff that's happened previously, and it's helped us to kind of understand what we were supposed to get out of the illustrations and the pictures when sometimes they don't communicate stuff very well. So really appreciate this solutions and hints booklet. This is great to kind of help you along, or like I said, just to kind of explain stuff afterwards if you're confused. Now, the actual puzzles, as you saw in the tutorial, tend to be a mix of searching for hidden numbers, although that's just for bonus points, and then very basic logic. Now, I do appreciate that it is realistic logic and that being smart actually rewards you. So in the tutorial, as I showed, if you have the key, you can be oh, a key would unlock a lock, but not a window. And it gets a bit more complicated than that, but those are the kind of things you're doing, which actually reminds me more of a point and click kind of inventory-based puzzle game like Monkey Island, but logical instead of insane. So you don't have to make these crazy leaps to figure out what to do. And I'll say my kids have really enjoyed this, and more than, I don't know, we did like the Exit Advent Calendar, where like the Exit series, it's more kind of like abstract puzzles and like shape-based things that often don't have any kind of logical real-world corollary. Whereas here it's like, my kid is like, yes, I would unlock a lock with a key. It makes sense. They can figure it out. So I definitely think the puzzle design kind of leans more towards, like I said, an adventure or a point-and-click game feeling, which for me is great, and my kids really enjoy too. So long story short, if you like sort of escape roomish things, if you have younger kids, I think these are a slam dunk. I would definitely recommend them. You're getting a lot of bang for your buck against 6 different adventures in each set. But on the other hand, if you're like an adult, even a casual player, we had fun with these, but only really in the context of playing with like my kids. I would not necessarily, I had a good time going through the little chicken disappearance, but it took me 10 seconds. I don't think these are going to hold long-term interest for full-grown adults without any children to play with. Now, in terms of the 4 sets that they sent, I've played 2 to 3 from each of these, so I have not played all of them. And honestly, they all kind of blend together. It's not like one of them is drastically different than another. Well, actually, that's not the case. This one is drastically different from the others. We'll talk about that one in a second. But these 3 honestly feel pretty similar. This is one, that, by the way, that I actually showed one adventure from. They have different difficulty levels. The like logic puzzles and things get a little bit more challenging. But yeah, I've enjoyed all 3 of them. I'm trying to think of like a favorite. I think it's really about whichever theme you like, because we had a good time with all of them. Like the Old West one was pretty cool. Oh, the Egyptian one we had a good time with. And then, yeah, like this jungle. I don't know. They're all good. But let's talk about the 4th set, the one that is based on the Cartoon Saloon trilogy, because my family and I love the Cartoon Saloon trilogy. So if you don't know, it began with The Secret of Kells, which is about like Irish Christian like priests trying to maintain the Book of Kells, this famous book that my wife and I have seen, trying to like protect it from invading hordes. And then Song of the Sea is about a brother trying to protect his sister when magical stuff goes on. And then Wolf Walkers, which is freaking great, but unfortunately I think you can only watch on like Apple Plus, is about like people can turn into wolves and it's like the encroachment of civilization into wilderness. Fantastic movies. Just, taking a little film break from the Unlocked Kids review. Fantastic movies, whether you're a kid or an adult. Like these, I can 100% recommend, even if you're just an adult. Beautiful animation, awesome stories, great films. But so they have 2 adventures for each of these movies. And we haven't, again, done all of them. I think I've done 3. But the weird thing comparing these to these, at least for my kids who have seen the movie, and for me, my family that has seen the movie, is that these pretty much hew very closely to the events of the films. Like you're pretty much just following along with the characters, doing mostly the same stuff that they're doing in the movie, but within the mechanics of the Unlocked Kids series. And there's both a plus and a minus, because I found, on maybe the negative side, that like I already kind of knew the answers for things. Like, oh yeah, there's the part where she climbs through a window. I'm going to climb through a window. Yep, that was right. So it kind of felt like the puzzles were short-circuited by my knowledge of the films. But on the other hand, my kids were like, oh, this is so awesome, because they liked playing through the movies and they liked kind of following along with the events that happen. And of course, the art is beautiful and kind of the physical like toy manifestation of how they do some things is really cool. So I guess it's maybe my favorite set in terms of how much my kids had fun with it, but my least favorite set in terms of the puzzles being as interesting as the other sets. Because again, they seem to sort of have as their guiding principle in designing this one that they wanted to model it and like really follow the narratives of the films, which, makes sense because it's kind of a commercial for the films in a way. So yeah, I guess just to modify my review a little bit, if you like the Cartoon Saloon movies and your kids like them, get this one first. You'll have a blast. If you want better riddles and to have kind of a more serious like logical deduction experience, get one of the other 3. Any of them work, whichever theme appeals to you. All right, thanks for watching, everybody, and a special thank you to our biggest Patreon supporters, J. William F., Pedro Lucas, Nick Skeen, Miles, Wayne Scott, and Steve Wren. We'll see you at the next stop.